is super important when it comes to, here we are again, oxidative stress. Because another thing that causes the oxidative stress is when you have an acidic body, as I mentioned, in regards to the stress, and that creates oxidative stress and also creates the acidic body. But also diet is relative to your body being acidic. There's no question it's relative. And that actually brings me to something that I want to mention, and that is that I've actually got some backlash since I did the water testing, and I'm so glad I did, because this is something that I want to mention, and that is, so I posted that video where I tested the waters, and somebody tried to say, oh, well, alkaline water, that's and right now people are trying to knock the alkaline waters. Well, actually, like I said, if you watch my tests, the ones that were advertised as being alkaline were not. So if you can get your hands on it, go to Shine MG Bright Show and please check out the results. But it was Evian and Public Spring Water were the two that rated the highest. And Fiji was third, and they've been kind of, because I test my waters all the time, they're kind of inconsistent, but they're up there, they're good. Sometimes I've had Fiji be pretty alkaline, but sometimes not. But the two that have always been consistent when I constantly test has been the Evian and Public Spring. But somebody tried to knock my results, or knock the validity of how important having alkaline water is. And they tried to state, well, it's that it cannot, because your stomach acid will completely dissolve any benefits of the alkaline water. And sure enough, boom, I just plugged it in, PubMed.gov, I pulled it up. Alkaline, there's a study there that shows alkaline water being beneficial for reflux disease. This is an intestinal issue that is caused, and this is showing that it helps acids. It helps. So if you've been told that alkaline water is dissolved with stomach acid, look at PubMed and you will see the results there that will show that that is not true. And then, of course, I still got the backlash. Well, that's not, it doesn't affect, it can't affect your blood. It doesn't affect your blood. It's only, okay, now your stomach. So now I got him to agree that it was the stomach, but no, it can't affect your blood. And now I'm trying to think, how can people be so adamant that an alkaline diet can't affect your blood? It is very clear. Now, don't forget, I have a clinical nutrition degree. I did my internships in the cardiac unit, as well as, and we're talking high blood pressure issues all day long relative to diet. Okay, we're talking blood pressure. Blood definitely changes blood pathology. Diet can be is huge, as well as diabetics. Okay, so there's no question that diet affects your blood. Now, how somebody can knock the benefits of alkaline water? H2O is the one thing that is small enough to pass through the cell wall. So to not think that this can be beneficial and change your blood pH, it doesn't make sense. But what it is that the studies aren't there. And that's why. So people are saying, now when I got my degree, and that's why that is why, yes, clinical research and studies is important to me, because in the clinical world, and that's what I'm getting at right here, is in the clinical world, if the studies aren't there, then it doesn't exist in their mindset, because they have to have the valid studies, otherwise it could be gimmicks and everything else, which that is good to rule out gimmicks. However, not everything has a study, and not every organ. So for instance, the studies out there, and that is the issue, is that when it comes to holistics, and when it comes to a lot of things out there that are extremely beneficial, the studies and a lot of these things out there are going to be geared towards the money. And because these powerful companies that are paying for these studies are doing, so there's going to be a lot more out there when it comes to healing and health that are going to be pharmaceutical in the studies, obviously, because that's where the money's coming from to pay for these. So, but there are, if you do your research, there are a lot of things out there that are beneficial. However, you cannot, FDA will make sure that a lot of these companies out there that are in the holistic industry cannot make claims, and they cannot inform people that there are beneficial therapies out there that are holistic based or natural based. And the problem with that too is when it comes to a lot of these natural based items is that you can't patent them. So a lot of things that were initially made from, or actually remedies, natural remedies, they've been synthesized and they've been made in a synthetic form because they can be patented and benefited financially that way. So I just want to open everyone's eyes to be aware that just because maybe the study isn't there, it doesn't mean, because logically, how could a good alkaline diet not help pH? And if you can have a proper pH, that directly is so beneficial for oxidative stress. And don't forget, oxidative stress is so important for your overall health and well-being on every single regard, from anti-aging to cancer to every disease to everything out there. So why you would want to try to constantly fight that issue or to fight the benefits of it is beyond me. But I know personally that when I know my body, and I know that when I can feel it. I mean, I am so in tune now that when I feel off, I will test myself, and sure enough, those are the times that I'm acidic. And it's just a matter of me finding out, and that's how I found out one of the waters that I mentioned, and that was Zephyr Hills, that changed. It used to be higher alkaline and suddenly changed when it came to the pH level. And I was drinking a lot of that and assuming that it was still higher in alkaline, and until I started feeling like something wasn't right, I started feeling lethargic, I started feeling achy, I started feeling like I had poison blood, and sure enough, the only thing that changed was my pH level. I tested, I was acidic, and I made that change. So that's why it's so important to be in tune and to be aware of all these oxidative stressors out there, and to do everything in yourself, for yourself and your family, to protect yourself from the synthetics, from all these things that can cause havoc to your health, your well-being on so many different levels. And you want to really focus on it, because the best cure is prevention. And that is why it is so, so important to start early and to protect yourself early on so you can be as healthy as possible. And I want to wish everybody all the best and God bless, because I am getting to that time. We are on our last few seconds here. So before I sign off, if you want to please follow Shine Empty Bright Show to listen to these shows and follow up on some super valuable health information and all the fun stuff. And I've got some great shows planned too. So God bless you all.